It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. A powerful journey lies behind you, and even more awaits, one that testifies to the reality that dreams can be fulfilled in the most unexpected ways. Perhaps you've already tasted this truth, feeling a stirring of possibility deep in your heart. Or maybe you're still inching your way forward, unsure if the visions you hold are worth chasing. Either way, your spirit speaks loudly. You're a chosen one. And every trial, every flicker of hope has brought you to this precise moment. If you feel that subtle rush of confirmation rising within, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to declare that you're ready to embrace the next level of transformation. Chapter 1. A Spark That Wouldn't Die. Think back to the first time you felt the tug of a dream you couldn't shake. It might have been in childhood, when you discovered something that excited you beyond measure. Or perhaps it surfaced later in life, sparked by a chance encounter that left you breathless with inspiration. Whatever its origin, you recognized a hint of destiny in that stirring, as though something larger than your daily routines was calling your name. At the time, you might not have had the resources, the confidence, or the support to pursue it fully. Still, that spark refused to die. Over the years, you may have carried this dream in your heart like a treasured secret. People around you might have called it unrealistic or whimsical, dismissing the potential for it to become something tangible. Yet for a chosen one, such a dream isn't a passing one. It's a roadmap to the future you're designed to live. Even when you tried to talk yourself out of it, the dream persisted, whispering that there was more to your story than what appeared on the surface. Some nights, you might have lost sleep imagining scenarios where everything aligned perfectly, only to wake with a mix of determination and doubt. As time passed, you found yourself taking subtle steps, testing the waters to see if this dream was truly as impossible as others claimed. You might have enrolled in a class, reached out to a mentor, or joined an online community that shared your passion. At first, the progress was slow. You encountered setbacks, financial hurdles, unresponsive people, your own uncertainties. But each small victory, like receiving one positive email or making a single worthwhile connection, fueled your sense that you were on to something real. With each tiny breakthrough, you felt that spark glow a little brighter. Eventually, you looked back and realized you had come farther than you ever expected. What started as a distant yearning had become a genuine pursuit. Maybe you had created a piece of work that felt worthy of pride, or found yourself in a conversation you only dreamed of having, or even saw an opportunity land in your lap that seemed too perfect to be coincidence. All of these developments built upon one another, forming a chain of hope. It no longer seemed like chance. You saw that each step, no matter how small, was necessary for the bigger picture unfolding in your life. Now, in hindsight, you see how that spark, once dismissed by others, was actually the key to unlocking this new era of your existence. The dream you once guarded so carefully has started to show signs of life on a bigger scale, proving that impossible dreams can inch toward reality if they're nurtured with faith and consistent action. You are proof of this principle simply by refusing to let your initial flame snuff out. Each time you persevered when you could have quit, you affirmed that something extraordinary was coming. And now that it's here, you can't help but smile at the journey that brought you to this point. Chapter 2. The moment the odds turned in your favor. Every dreamer reaches a pivotal juncture where the odds, once stacked against them, begin to tilt in their favor. For you, that shift may have felt like a subtle breeze at first, an unexpected compliment from someone you respect, or a small but significant milestone you achieved without fanfare. It could have been a piece of news that arrived at just the right time, or a random acquaintance who turned out to have the perfect connection for your ambitions. These events might look small on the surface, yet they hold immeasurable weight. For a chosen one, they signaled that the universe, or the grand pattern of life, is collaborating with your efforts. Perhaps you remember the days when everything felt like pushing against a locked door. No matter how hard you tried, it wouldn't budge. You applied for opportunities without hearing back, or practiced your skills quietly in the background while the world carried on, oblivious to your aspirations. Frustration might have crept in, telling you that maybe your dream was too big, too far-fetched, or simply not aligned with life's reality. In those moments, self-doubt can loom, lies urging you to abandon what your heart knows is true. But then something changed. Maybe it was a single event, a strong breakthrough, a serendipitous meeting, or a piece of encouraging feedback that arrived at your lowest point. Even if it wasn't dramatic, you felt the cosmic gears shift, as though the universe had decided to give you a wink of approval. Suddenly, tasks that once required enormous effort began to flow more naturally. People who barely noticed you started to offer assistance, and more doors began to open without you having to push so forcefully. You realized that your earlier struggles weren't in vain. They had paved the way for this newfound momentum. As the odds turned in your favor, you discovered the power of synergy between belief and action. You saw that while it's crucial to hold an unwavering vision, it's equally important to take steps that match the faith you profess. This alignment between your mindset and your daily routines became the fuel that kept you moving forward. One small success fed into another, building a steady current of achievement you hadn't experienced before. With each victory, no matter how minor, you felt your confidence grow, and you started trusting the process more deeply. Before long, the shift became undeniable. You could list the ways in which life was actively supporting your efforts. Goals that once felt out of reach now appeared within your grasp, and you found yourself surrounded by a network of people who genuinely believed in you. The dreamer inside you no longer had to hide. You emerged ready to claim the reality you once envisioned in isolation. In essence, that moment when the odds turned was both an external and internal milestone. Externally, opportunity came knocking. Internally, you finally accepted that you deserved to answer it. This convergence of inner readiness and outer possibility is precisely what catapults a chosen one into a realm where dreams truly do come true. Chapter 3. Honoring the struggles that shaped you. When you step into a brighter chapter of your life, it's tempting to leave old hardships behind without a second glance. Yet there's immense value in honoring the struggles that shaped you. For a chosen one, each setback, disappointment, or heartbreak served a purpose far beyond causing pain. These challenges were, in a strange but profound way, catalysts that sharpened your resilience and honed your perspective. They became the stepping stones you didn't realize you needed until you looked back and saw how perfectly they connected. Think about how many times you nearly gave up, how close you came to abandoning your aspirations because they seemed too big, too intangible, or too risky. Reflect on the nights you sat awake, questioning whether you were wasting your energy chasing illusions. Even if those memories stir discomfort, they also highlight your steadfast resolve. If you hadn't faced those episodes of doubt and kept going anyway, you wouldn't be where you are now. The fact that you chose courage over complacency is a testament to your character. Moreover, each struggle taught you a different lesson. Maybe financial stress pushed you to become more resourceful. Maybe heartbreak taught you empathy and the value of deeper connections. Or a professional setback made you realize you were aiming too small. By extracting these lessons, you turned adversity into a forge that tempered your spirit. You didn't just survive difficulties. You transformed them into building blocks for the life you're now stepping into. In this new chapter, as you see more evidence that your dreams are unfolding, it's worthwhile to remember how you got here. You might consider writing a letter to your past self, expressing gratitude for the determination and faith it took to keep going. Or you might quietly revisit the places where you once felt most defeated, noticing how far you've come since those days. Doing so isn't wallowing in the past. It's acknowledging the raw materials that fashioned you into who you are. On the flip side, you might also recall times when you made mistakes or acted out of fear. While those moments can be uncomfortable to revisit, they reveal how your decision-making process evolved. You learned to pivot, to seek help when needed, or to refine your approach. These adaptive skills now serve you well as you navigate bigger opportunities and responsibilities. With each new challenge, you draw upon a deeper well of wisdom rooted in every storm you've weathered. Honoring your struggles doesn't mean romanticizing them. You don't have to pretend that pain is fun or desirable. Rather, it's about validating your own journey. The very hardships that once seemed arbitrary or unfair are the same ones that now equip you to handle success. And if ever you wonder whether you're truly deserving of the good unfolding in your life, recall that you've paid your dues in perseverance and transformed your trials into triumphs. That truth makes your emerging reality all the sweeter and confirms that your dreams didn't come to you by accident. They found a soul sturdy enough to carry them through. Chapter 4. Sharing your light with others. Now that you've reached a phase where your dreams are manifesting, something beautiful begins to happen. You realize this journey isn't just about you. As a chosen one, the transformation you experience naturally ripples outward. People around you notice the shift, be it the glow in your eyes or the new confidence in your voice. They become curious about how you pulled it off. Some might ask you for advice, hoping to tap into the same vein of possibility you've discovered. This is the point where you recognize your life as a living testimony. It's no longer just a personal narrative of overcoming odds. It's a beacon for those who are still wrestling with their own uncertainties. The humility you develop through your trials keeps you from becoming arrogant, while the sense of purpose you've discovered drives you to help lift others up. Whether you're teaching skills, offering emotional support, or simply sharing a story of triumph, your unique experiences can resonate in ways you never anticipated. Sharing your light doesn't require a stage or a spotlight. It can be as simple as a heartfelt conversation with a friend who feels stuck, or a brief social media post that speaks to someone's hidden anxieties. It might involve volunteering in a capacity that aligns with your passions, or mentoring someone who reminds you of your younger self. These moments of service might not make headlines, but they can profoundly impact the lives they touch. And often, the energy you invest in uplifting others circulates back to you, deepening your own sense of fulfillment. In offering hope to others, you also strengthen your own resolve. When you articulate how you overcame certain barriers, you remind yourself of your own resilience. Each time you shed light on someone else's path, you revisit your own breakthroughs, keeping them fresh in your heart. Paradoxically, the more you give, the more you feel connected to the source of your dreams. That sense of connection fuels you to aim even higher, knowing that you're no longer climbing for self-gain alone. You're climbing to expand what's possible for everyone watching. Yet it's worth noting that sharing your light doesn't mean shouldering the weight of everyone else's struggles. Your journey might inspire or guide others, but they must still walk their own path. You can't carry them over the finish line. Rather, you can illuminate the route, showing that what once seemed unattainable is, in fact, achievable. And in doing so, you continue to elevate not just your own life, but the collective spirit of those who dare to dream. Each person you influence potentially becomes another living proof that dreams do come true, forming a cycle of hope that extends far beyond your immediate circle. Chapter 5. Staying grounded amidst success. Achieving a milestone can be exhilarating, especially one that you once thought was reserved for daydreams. When that dream takes form, it's tempting to ride the wave of excitement, letting euphoria guide your every move. While there's nothing wrong with celebrating, a chosen one also knows the importance of staying grounded. Success, if unchecked, can become a double-edged sword. It can either propel you to new heights or inflate your ego to the point where you lose touch with the very humility that brought you this far. In this stage, you may find that people suddenly treat you differently. They might shower you with praise or place you on a pedestal. While it's affirming to hear that you've inspired someone, remember that you're still learning, growing, and forging your path. You haven't arrived at some final destination. In fact, the more you accomplish, the clearer it becomes that there's always another horizon to explore. Keeping this perspective prevents you from stagnating in self-satisfaction. Moreover, staying grounded means acknowledging the role of other forces in your success. You might have had a mentor who believed in you when no one else did, or a family member who quietly supported your ambitions without seeking credit. Life's circumstances, timing, and even serendipity likely played a part. Recognizing these factors doesn't undermine your achievements, it simply adds depth. By paying homage to these influences, you maintain an appreciation that keeps your heart wide open. That openness, in turn, invites even more blessings to flow your way. One technique to preserve your humility is to regularly step out of your comfort zone. Rather than coasting on what you've already mastered, Look for opportunities to learn something new or engage in a venture that humbles you by revealing how much more you can still grow. This approach not only keeps your skills sharp, but also ensures you maintain the curiosity and willingness to be a beginner again, qualities that first ignited your dream. You may also realize that new challenges accompany increased visibility. People might project their expectations onto you or misunderstand your intentions. Some could envy your accomplishments, while others might try to cash in on your success. Handling these pressures with grace requires you to stay true to the values that guided you here. When you consistently act from a place of integrity, you strengthen the moral and emotional foundation that underpins your achievements. Above all, remember that your dream come true moment is not the end. It's part of a continuous evolution. The higher you rise, the more crucial it becomes to keep your feet on the ground. By doing so, you remain accessible, compassionate, and ready for the next exciting chapter. And each time you face a fresh challenge, you can draw on the lessons from your initial climb, reminding yourself that if you manage to cross one impossible threshold, you can certainly cross another. Rooted in this awareness, you stand poised to explore new vistas without losing the essence of who you are. Chapter 6. Creating Space for New Dreams. Once you've manifested a dream you've nurtured for years, you might feel a mix of pride and puzzlement. Pride because you accomplished what once felt unattainable. Puzzlement because you're not sure what to chase next. For a chosen one, fulfilling a major goal can be both liberating and disorienting. You've spent so much energy focused on this dream that, in its completion, you sense a vacuum. You wonder, what now? But deep down, you know that life isn't done showing you new horizons. Your soul yearns to keep evolving, to keep discovering new layers of possibility. Creating space for new dreams often begins with a period of rest. You've likely poured heart, soul, and countless hours into bringing your vision to life. It's worth taking a deliberate pause to appreciate how far you've come. Give yourself permission to enjoy the quiet after the storm of effort. This downtime isn't idle, it's regenerative. Your mind and body need to recalibrate, to gather the energy required for the next significant leap. Ironically, stepping away from ambition for a moment can help fresh aspirations surface more naturally, free from the pressure to immediately produce results. During this lull, you might find yourself drawn to experiences or interests you've ignored while you were hyper-focused on your previous goal. Perhaps there's a creative hobby that went dormant or a travel destination you've always wanted to explore. These seemingly unrelated pursuits can act as catalysts for new dreams, sparking ideas or connections you wouldn't have encountered otherwise. Inspiration often hides in the unexpected, revealing itself in a random conversation or a spontaneous outing. You may also discover that the completion of one dream recalibrates your sense of what's possible. Challenges that once appeared monumental no longer intimidate you as they once did. It's as though achieving one dream resets your baseline, making grander visions feel doable. Soon you'll notice that your imagination has expanded. You catch yourself contemplating goals that your past self would never have believed feasible. With this broader scope, new dreams start to germinate in your mind, quietly waiting for you to acknowledge their potential. Eventually, these embryonic dreams begin to form into plans. You sense a familiar spark, similar to the one that guided you through your last journey. Except this time, you have the advantage of experience. You know the terrain of devotion, uncertainty, and fulfillment. You understand that big dreams demand perseverance, but also that the payoff can be immeasurable. And so, you start piecing together the steps, reaching out to fresh networks and taking leaps of faith. This process reminds you why you dared to dream in the first place, to live a life that keeps unfolding in brilliance, fueled by the curiosity and courage that define you as a chosen one. Chapter 7. A Story Still Unfolding. By now you stand in a reality that once existed only in your imagination. You can see the tangible results of your efforts, maybe in the form of a thriving project, a fulfilling relationship, or a long-desired personal milestone. Yet as satisfying as it is, you sense that the story is still unfolding. You're a chosen one, and your purpose isn't confined to a single moment of triumph. There's a whole horizon stretching out before you, filled with adventures, lessons, and new forms of inspiration waiting to be discovered. You might catch yourself marveling at how different your life looks compared to a year or even a few months ago. The dreams that once fueled you have blossomed, proving not just to you but to everyone watching that dedication, faith, and a steadfast heart can move mountains. People might turn to you now for advice or reassurance, wondering if they too can transform their visions into something real. In those moments, you feel a sense of profound gratitude and responsibility. You realize that by embodying the proof of dreams made real, you carry a quiet torch of hope for others. At the same time, your own aspirations continue to evolve. Perhaps new passions emerge, or existing ones deepen. You might feel prompted to explore unfamiliar fields or build upon the success you've already achieved. Each day brings whispers of possibility, an email from a collaborator, a chance encounter that sparks a bright idea, or a conversation that uncovers a new calling. Every such moment reminds you that life is a continuous flow, and even as you honor your present accomplishments, you remain open to further expansion. And so, the story goes on, shaped by your willingness to stay receptive. Even now, the next chapter is silently forming, weaving itself from the threads of your curiosity, your creativity, and your unbroken belief in the power of a dream. You stand at the intersection of what has been and what could be, aware that each step you take now will echo through the chapters still waiting to be written. But rather than feeling daunted, you're invigorated by the knowledge that you, more than most, understand what's possible when you align determination with an open heart. This sense of perpetual becoming doesn't diminish your current success. Instead, it enriches it. It reminds you that the journey itself is as valuable as the outcome, and that your life remains a vessel for fresh miracles and wonders. By continuing forward, you affirm that your story is far from over. It's a living testament to the truth that dreams not only can come true, but can continue unfolding in ways you never dreamed possible.